Hello friends, I'm the Otter. I'm tearing this engine apart, basically took the clutch off the car, and I have some really interesting things to show you. So what happens if you install your friction disc backwards? Let's take a look. And this is the flywheel, it's like the brake rotor, and then this is the friction disc that connects your transmission and everything else. So when you buy the clutch system, it's all together and it has a little dildo going through there. And basically, you just boop and you bolt it on. So I don't know what happened here, but it took me quite a bit of time to figure this one out. So I'll zoom in here for you so you can see the springs. So the first thought on this was basically the crankshaft was walking around and just gouged into the flywheel, and I was just staring at it for like 20 minutes trying to figure out what was going on. So the clutch on this car worked, but it did feel a little bit funny. So here's the flywheel bolts. Got a little bit of a haircut. So the bolts go into the flywheel here. And if we look at the friction surface, this side bulges out just a little bit more than this side. So technically this is the friction side that goes. If you install your clutch discs backwards, it still works. But it's gonna take a little haircut off of the springs and the bolts. So technically, it totally works if you install it backwards. It just felt a little bit weird. And we do have some like crazy wear on the pressure plate and the flywheel. So when he started the car, technically, the car would have lurched forward and made a horrendous screeching noise. And then at some point, I guess it fixed itself when it shaved off all these springs. So another interesting note about this clutch, I'm gonna have to zoom in to show you. So this clutch wasn't installed yesterday, and it wasn't installed last week, and probably not last year, because we have worn all the way through the friction surface, all the way almost to the rivets. So technically this thing could have like 50, 100,000 miles. It's kind of interesting that both sides totally work. So here's the flywheel bolts. These are probably pretty expensive from Toyota, so I'm probably gonna reuse them. But at this point, it's just crime scene investigating. So I think by the grooves on this flywheel, we just did a clutch slap without resurfacing it, installed it backwards, and then it drove for quite a bit of ways. This is a long series of videos restoring this classic 1997 third generation 4Runner. So if you want to see the entire build, click this playlist on your screen.